EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Carr now on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Flush to his right. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Luke Kuechly in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Low. Down. 180. Come here.
Throwing his Carr on third down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Ito Smith, his first carry. Unable to corral him. He fights through. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They go play action here on first down. And he rifles one incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. That is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Carr going to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The shotgun snap for Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Tack McKinley in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's able to get up here to the 26. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Casey, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. And
taking it across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the 1st quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Now Carr. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone.
And that is caught. Touchdown Falcons. Cameron Meredith, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any.
He's got a man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Newton again. And this one is incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. To the air again, Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down throw for Newton. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers have got it back to a 1-score game.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Gano out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Carr now on first down. Buying time to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. It was Eric Reed in on the stop.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Hell, 180, 694. Hey.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Now Newton on 1st down. Taking a shot for Samuel. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for the Panthers. 59 yards.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing is Newton. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Gano the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, Run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Completes this one to Meredith. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down. Carr now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Right down. 7:34. White Monday down.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Eluding the pressure right. 13 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And Gano's kick is right through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time they coughed it up. led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Heavy. Down. 180.
Carr to throw on second down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw his Carr, and he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
This is brought in at the 21. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's Newton now on second down. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. The Panthers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Newton. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So out come the Falcons now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Get down. You ready?
Throwing on first down is Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A handoff. Devontae Freeman. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14.
Hey, 7:34. 6:37.
Shotgun now for Carr. And an alley to run. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Panthers have recovered. Following the fumble recovery, Newton looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, it's Newton. And Thomas has it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
Newton on first down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Tack McKinley in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, here's Newton. And he's going to go down again. Tack McKinley in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, and needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7 as they got closer to their goal line?
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. That's caught by Meredith right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Carr to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Again, it's Carr. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down, here's Smith. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Falcons on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Carr going to throw. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
And this is complete to Moore, the comebacker. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, McCaffrey. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll run it now out of the gun. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Escaping, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. Room to run past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now Carr, and he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Now, 180. Yo, Chief. It's up.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They still need 6 yards here on 3rd down after the penalty. From the gun, it's Carr. Being chased out left. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Panthers have recovered.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now the big play pushes him all the way out to the 40 now for first down. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. Here's Newton. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They get it to him running left. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
You can't have a drive go further without scoring than this, but that last yard sometimes can be the toughest. This is third and goal. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. On play action. Now Carr. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to go deep down into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Parker unable to get that one. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. That's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
3rd and long. It's Newton. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Gano's kick is right through. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we're having...
And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Carr. And this one's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Trying to lay one up deep. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Now Carr again. And this is incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. The Panthers on 3rd down. It's been a problem, just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you...
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And a costly turnover there as the ball will be spotted first and goal at the 5-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline is still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. And they won't run a play here. No victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Carolina, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, all this buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yeah, making me dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance.